Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Left Side Strong Side. I'm your host, James Ellison, joining my co-hosts, Jeffrey Kahn and Jacob London. He's relegated to the bedroom right now, but we are back for another episode of Left Side Strong Side, and boy, do we got a ton to talk about today. Yes, let's just get into it. First, we're talking about, not football related at all, but the NBA playoffs are currently in their final stage before the actual finals. We have the Eastern and Western Conference finals set. On the West, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah. I'm like,
Currently
that's
playing.
it. Currently
Playing right
playing
now?
at this moment.
Yeah.
Just,
Minnesota leading by 4 at halftime.
yeah, I know. It's like you should know that. I'm sorry. Minnesota in West just takes a little bit to register with me. In the East, a series that I'm very much looking forward to. It's probably going to be the series that I watch every single game of. We have the Knicks taking on the Pacers. Very fitting to be the last series to take place on TNT.
Oh, Jacob, you're muted.
Muted.
I don't know how that happened.
I'm muted. Okay. I can't wait for that series, to be brutally honest. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be just fun to watch. I fear for the state of New York, city of New York. I think if
whatever happens, I'm
Yeah, whatever happens, if they win or lose.
yeah, if they win or lose, if they lose, it's probably just going to be burnt to the ground. If they win, the Statue of Liberty may end up in the river.
They'll find a way to tear such a down.
Oh,
They
boy.
may tear the Statue of Liberty down just out of pure
Talk about
happiness.
premature celebrations.
And that's just winning the conference final. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's
exactly. I was saying before you even.
Finals. So yeah, it's I cannot wait for this series. I'm really hoping for a New York Timberwolves finals. I think that would be best case scenario. I think it would be a lot of fun. And
Look, there's a lot of players who played for both.
yeah,
teams.
and I think we would get the all right, who won the trade? Because right now they both did, but but we can't obviously talk about what happened about where we're at without talking about, my God, the absolute.
Oh yeah, the 2015 Hawks. The 2015 Hawks.
The two biggest choke jobs that we had. Because
should we start with the Cavs?
yeah, let's start with the Cavs.
My question for the Cavs is this: what was the point? Like, you win all the games in the regular season. You're the number 1 seed in the NBA. You look like the best team on paper in the NBA, and in actuality, to do that in the playoffs.
Didn't they have some injuries like that were
They did
of
have
significance,
some
so
injury,
it wasn't
but
completely out of nowhere.
still, it was against the Pacers. Like the Pacers aren't a great team. And again, well, and maybe we're wrong about that. Maybe the
Pacers win the whole thing. It looks better.
are just a great team that has been disastrously underrated. But I don't know. Like right now, I
don't know. And you know, people keep comparing them to the 15 Hawks. I think it's a little unfair. They at least made the conference final.
Ouch. And waiting for Matt to enter the chat in 3.
So there is that, and then obviously we've got to talk about the other absolute just blow it in the Celtics. Wow.
Well, that one had a huge injury attached to it.
The second.
I know.
Tatum
I
went
got you.
down. Now look,
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
not in
over.
good. They were not in good shape before the Tatum injury.
Before, but yeah,
They were going to be
that
3.
sealed
Look,
it.
let's be real. They were going to be 3-1 down without the Tatum injury.
Yeah.
They were got now.
That
Look,
made it basically impossible.
they may have pushed it to 7. They won Game 5 easily, and who knows? Maybe Boston don't just absolutely pack it in Game 6 the way that they did. But
it wasn't great to lose the first 2 games at home.
Yeah, when you lose the first 2 games at home, that's I don't know what else. And you lose the first 2 games at home in the fashion that you lost them in, down 20, like up 20 points to blow that. Historically, what are you doing? So yeah, we're in for an absolutely fantastic like conference finals on both sides now because of this. I can't wait. You've got and what makes it even more special is no matter basically what, this history going to be made because 3 of the 4 have never won, and the one that's won, it's over 50 years. Yeah. So yeah,
when none of the players were alive.
Yeah, none of these players. Some of the coaches weren't even alive.
Probably.
So yeah.
But again, look, that next Pacers series is one I'm so incredibly excited for.
Starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is an every game series I'm going to be watching, and also like Halliburton this entire playoffs has been my favorite player to watch. I think like he's been incredible. He's playing lights out every single series. But him and Brunson clearly have beef.
But also I just want to say this. Halliburton Senior, let him go to home games. I know they said he was banned, but let him come back to home. They were not expecting to be at the conference finals. Don't let him miss this series. Let him play.
No. Like, bro, don't fix it. Stay at home, Halliburton Senior.
No, that's true. They were still they won when he banned his
the Bucks. So like look, home games, do not send him to New York. Don't know.
There's him in New York, but like
but home games, let him be back on the court for home games. I think that
I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's keep it as it is, and then we'll see.
All right.
So the next week, Chance will be alternating watching the Pacers and Knicks or watching Mission Impossible. That's what he'll be doing.
That is everything I'm watching next week. It's Mission Impossible and then the Pacers Knicks.
He's so very, very thankful he's already seen
it. That won't stop him from going 5-6 more times.
Even waiting because he doesn't have to choose.
Oh, that's fair.
The mission, if I choose to accept it, I do choose to accept it. Tom, thank you for asking. Yeah. I will get popcorn because apparently you're checking now.
Oh God. All right.
Quick aside. Did you guys see the video of that guy called Tom Cruise called out for fishing his popcorn?
No.
Before the movie even started.
Oh, sweet.
Like he's walking up to the stage, he tells this guy with the bucket, he's like, "Yeah, you finished your popcorn already?" And then the pans over, I'm just like, if that happened to me, I would just leave. I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm leaving. I'm not leaving my house for another 4 weeks.
Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. Do we need to mention the Mavs winning the draft lottery, or has
Chance? Yeah, okay.
Or has Chance outlawed that?
Okay.
That's right. I forgot about that. That also happened.
Look, do I believe the NBA is rigged? No. Does this make it hard to believe that? Oh God, yes.
Oh yes. It's just
this one. I said a month ago that someone was like, what
really
would make you believe the NBA was rigged? I said if the Mavs get the number 1 pick, if the Mavs or the Spurs do, I would believe it's a little rigged, and they get 1 and 2. I was like, for fuck's sake, are you kidding me?
Now, here's the thing. I do not believe we will keep that number 2 pick. I think we're trading that to get Giannis.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's the one weapon you guys have that you guys can use to outbid Houston, because Houston can outbid you. Just straight up right now they can. But you having the number 2 seed is one of those, well, we've got it's the little bit of a carrot. I still think you're going to have to give up one of your 3 rookies, or one of your 3 not rookies. So I think you're going to have to give up one of your 3 main players.
So Castle?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Castle's the one you can give up, because I think Fox's I don't think Fox's value.
They wouldn't want Fox.
Yeah, I don't think the value's there. Castle, there's at least some level of value. I think the Pelicans are going to be involved in a trade no matter what happens. Somehow. I think the trade is going to be involved because the Bucks don't want their picks back. And that's going to be it's going to be who can make the deal with the Pelicans so we can get our picks back.
But yeah, the only downside of this lottery, this might be the only reason Nico Harrison keeps his job.
Yeah. Oh, good. I got another possible generational player
He will.
after I just traded one.
Look, next season, and it's going to be interesting of seeing, all right, we'll see AD, Kyrie, and Cooper. That's going to be interesting. That is going to be an interesting team that we're going to see.
Although the Terrace hitting hard, they gotta go domestic for the white boy this time.
So, and that's actually the other thing that this playoffs, whose stock has fallen at least a little bit, is Luka's. Luka's stock has fallen because now there are four superstars. There are four potential superstars who are coming in and being like, hey, one of us is going to have a ring before you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of them is going to have a ring now before Luka does. It's Shay's gonna have one. So either Shay,
either Shea,
or Anthony
Brunson, Halliburton,
or
Ant-Man.
One of them's going to have a ring now before him. I don't know. I don't think the Lakers next season are going to get a ring now. Chance, you were right. They looked horrific in the playoffs. They looked horrific, and the West is and if Giannis comes to the West is going to be even stronger. So
like I said, LeBron will never step into the finals.
Yeah, unless he goes back home.
Even then, I don't think so.
If
a second homecoming.
If LeBron goes back,
his third stint with the Cavs.
Third stint with the Cavs.
I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I don't think this will happen. I think it's borderline impossible. But if he declines his player option with the Lakers, signs for the league minimum with the Cavs, and that it does work, and he would be able to do it.
He's made enough money, right?
But and that would be the reason. And if he announced it as, this is my last season, I'm doing one last season with the Cavs at home, I think everybody would win, because I think he would be in the East, where if Giannis leaves, who's in the
Better
East?
chances.
It's Brunson and Halliburton.
Yeah, Tatum's not going to play.
Tatum doesn't play.
Yeah, well, we're assuming Tatum's out for the year. Yeah. Right, like if at the earliest he's coming back,
October,
is round
right?
one of the playoffs.
No playoffs. No,
right before the playoffs.
Yeah, so, and that's assuming the Celtics even make it if they don't blow this team up, which they probably are going to have to do, because they've got $500 million in just taxes that they have to pay. Not even the salary cap, in just taxes. So the NBA, the East next year is going to look very, very different, and it's going to be fascinating. But it is also why I could see a world where Giannis says, I'm going to stay a year because of that. Because if I stay 1 year, I've got.
It's wide.
The only thing about that is currently Doc Rivers is still the head coach, and I don't think he would go back to the Bucks if Doc Rivers is still on the team.
It's like, I'll stay, and then looks at his head coach. Oh wait, that's why I'm leaving. That's why I'm choosing.
Never mind, I'm out.
All right, let's move on. All right, Chance, I'm going to let you go for a little bit. I will be right back.
We're doing the pick and straight.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. So
Jacob's leaving, so Chance can scream.
News broke a few weeks ago. This is like 7 a.m. when this news broke.
Yeah.
So I hadn't even woken up yet. But I wake up to see George Pickens has been traded to the Cowboys. Now I think our last show I said I thought George Pickens would be on this team when for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas turned around and said, guess what?
No.
So here's the thing. I do think that the writing was a little on the wall with the Metcalf trade, because their skill sets are very, very similar. I also don't think the Steelers are going to pay him unless he had like a really standout year this year, and I don't think Dallas is going to pay him either. Yeah. Like, he's clearly on a 1-year prove-it deal. Funniest part about this whole trade, the fact that we actually got more for Chase Claypool than we did George Pickens. Which,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's a bit of concern. But my question is this: what is the plan exactly?
It's just nothing but targets only to going to Metcalf. That's the plan.
Because
DK Metcalf's your whole plan.
I don't know what our plan is because currently Rodgers is still doing whatever he's doing.
Look,
Our running game consists of Jalen Warren, who we don't know if he's like a number one back, and a rookie we just drafted. We have and a wide receiver we have Metcalf, Calvin
legit
Austin, Robert Woods. Like, this is
Yeah.
realistically, what I think is going to happen is in late July, early August, maybe earlier if he can get away with it. We are going to hear the Aaron Rodgers has signed for a 2-year, $90 million contract, so $45 million each year.
Oh, kill me.
All right. I think that's what we're getting. I think he just doesn't want to do training. I think he just doesn't want to do practice at the moment. And he's like, I'm going to miss all my OTAs. I'm going to miss all of this because I'm not technically signed. And then I'm
like 41 or whatever.
Yeah. And I think that is the plan for the Steelers. The other, because it's that or it's
or the number one pick. Oh.
One or the other, because the problem you're going to have is this defense is too good. Right now, I'd want Kirk. Right now, I'm calling the Falcons and saying, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
No, because I watch because
I don't know if you want to let Atlanta dictate what.
Yeah,
you
but
might
guess
have to.
what? Kirk will turn up for practice. Kirk will actually do that. Rodgers
He's
is
a better teammate. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. It's not a problem in the locker room.
yeah. So and Kirk's a lot cheaper as well. A lot cheaper. So I think there's that. I think that is the issue right now is Rodgers doesn't want to do OTAs. He doesn't want to do mandatory minicamp. He doesn't want to do any of that. So he's not signing until because what happened last year with the Jets. He doesn't want to go through that again.
And at the same time, who needs team chemistry? But back to Pickens real quick. Man, we had it. We had the crash out terror twins in the building, and then we traded one away. It's not even trading him. It's back like if you're going to trade him away, why not trade him? During the draft,
Before the draft, yeah,
before the draft, or during the draft.
And why did the Cowboys?
The Cowboys part's is actually not the
that one. It makes sense for them. Yes.
Yeah, I actually think this is one of the rare, both teams lose out trades. I don't think either team's gotten. I think Cowboys have massively overpaid, and the Steelers have now lost a receiver. Like I think both teams are worse.
Although I think someone pointed out that the Steelers are good at trading receivers right before.
That's the weird thing.
Right before
we always know exactly when to move off.
When to trade.
Yeah, and
Chase Claypool.
Yeah,
Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Martavis Bryant, AB, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right.
The one thing,
Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, the one thing that the Cowboys have done smartly is they've not given him the contract. I think that is a smart thing.
Well, I don't think they will. I don't think they
shouldn't.
They shouldn't, and I don't think they will. But we will see what happens there. Yeah. All right, moving on.
More shocking.
This was a shocking one.
Yeah.
Derek Carr announced his retirement. This came right the fuck out of nowhere. We know he was nursing a shoulder injury. Apparently, it was a lot worse than we already knew it was worse than we thought, but it was even worse than that to the point where we're pushing to retirement. This for me does suck because I've always been a big Derek Carr fan. I always thought he was really underrated. I thought he was really unappreciated. Kind of like one of the unsung hero QBs
just stuck on
of the NFL. Yeah, just stuck on really bad team. But even when he was on bad teams, you look at his numbers. He never really had a really bad season until later.
There was one year I think he was an MVP consideration.
He was 16
with the Raiders. So yeah.
No, look, because I think that because they're medically retiring, he can be paid. I think there's something in there where I think because he with now him retiring, basically it's they get it off the cap, but he's also paid. It's a weird one. I think I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on it, but I think that was a big reason why, because I think he knew.
I also think because he retired, this does not count against the cap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I think it's that, but because I think he knew this season was a wash. I think he had a feeling next season was a wash too.
Yeah, it's like I'm not fully healthy anyway.
I think maybe not all of next season, but at least a portion of next season. And at that point, he wasn't going to see the field again. So I may as well get paid. Like I may as well, because now I think he does get. I think he gets a decent chunk. I don't think where compared to if he got cut otherwise. Like I think there's something in there where it was more advantageous for everyone involved if he retired rather than being cut.
At the same time, though, the Saints now officially have maybe the worst QB room.
Oh yeah,
in the entire NFL.
One of the youngest too,
without question.
They're not that young because Tyler Shuck.
Well, yeah, Josh has played 7 years in college.
But the other like
NFL wise, it's young.
Look,
Tyler Shuck is like 40 years old as a rookie.
Look. They're not going to be contending this year at all. We knew that. They're probably also not they're kind of gonna remind you of the Jags when they had Trevor Lawrence of that first year where it's like, hey, we're gonna be bad for 2 years. Now, obviously, a lot of that was because of Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I wonder why they were bad for some. I wonder why they were bad.
That certainly played a part.
They're gonna be bad for a while to rebuild. This is a full-blown rebuild because the credit card has finally come due. And yeah, I mean, look, they put everything on the credit card and it blew up in their face. And then they just kept hoping and praying to keep putting stuff on the credit card. And now I think they're finally acknowledging we can't do that. So,
but yeah, Derek, I was a fan of yours. I was a supporter. It does suck that you're not going to be on an NFL field anymore. And I do wish you a good retirement.
Yeah.
What's next?
All right. This one came out today. There's the other news stories we're going to do a bit later, but this is the one that came out today.
Oh
yeah.
It's official. They will be allowed to participate. So NFL players finally have a chance to win a gold medal.
Sure.
I can't wait to see the welder from Poland who's got to try to guard Justin Jefferson.
I'm telling everyone right now, this is going to be so fucking boring. I'm like, it's going to suck.
To produce what 99% of all the best.
But that's my point. It's not like it's gonna be like, oh, cool, like at least basketball when
but there's
30 years.
Well, there's like a heavy dose of like players from other countries.
Yeah, who they're not great for everyone else, but at least you get to see one of them play.
People you recognize.
What player internationally is like, oh, I'm going to be able to represent my team?
Yeah, no, cool.
You might be born in America for all we know. It's like, do you even kick in flag football?
It's gonna be so.
Wait, is Younghoe American? I thought he was actually Korean.
Oh no, he was born in Korea. So.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was born in Korea.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
but there you go.
Quarterback, can you throw?
It's gonna be so boring, and I look. I just think it's dumb that it's going to be in the Olympics, personally. But it's more. I think it's dumb that it's going to be in the Olympics because I think it's going to be boring as shit.
We let your country do breakdancing for you. You shut your mouth.
It'd be worse than that.
We got rid of it because we watched it and we went, "Oh, this is dumb."
And it did spawn.
It did spawn like a generation.
So we have that to thank for.
All right. Okay, this meme is now dying.
Which meme?
That
is that also
I look for the next how 3 years. I want
minimum.
Dude's got his job. There is nothing he can do right now where I will be like Nick Sirianni is going to be fired. He's got his job at least. He has got 2 years at a minimum. Straight
2 years
up.
of sucking. Yeah, he has to outright.
Yeah,
suck.
no, that's what I mean. Like he's got 2 years of. He could go 1-16 next year and then do it again. And at the end of the next one,
and when we start talking about,
then he'll be fired.
Yeah, it's so yeah. No, the Nick Sirianni being fired, Nick Sirianni on the hot seat, Nick Sirianni, Eddie, and all that.
Begrudgingly, it's over.
That also got settled once they won a Super Bowl. But yeah, no, that's not. He's now serious job for.
No, it is official.
I think Doug Peterson was coach for 2 years after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was 3.
No, 3 years. 3 years. So he got at least 3 years job security.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I feel like we still can't tell whether or not he's a good coach.
We can't. Not definitively.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the argument.
Oh yeah, I know where you go. Yeah.
The Kittle. We also missed the Kittle extension, right? So there's 2 Niners that got paid.
Yeah. So we got Fred
and Warner.
We did talk about
Fred Warner, but that one's actually deserved.
The Kittle one we talked about. It was right on.
We did.
Literally the day of our last episode.
Got it.
The Fred Warner one happened today as well. I've got that in here as well. But the Brock Purdy one's the big one. Look, I get it. I understand why. I'm
you
not
have to like it.
I look. The thing right now, this is the going rate for a starting quarterback in the NFL, guys. It just is. And it's not even that. And, he technically took a hometown discount.
Yeah.
He get this is the discount rate.
This is the discount. Wow, can I get paid?
This is the discount. What's the full rate?
Well, the full rate Dak's contract.
The full rate is Dak Prescott, I guess.
That's the full rate. That is the full rate NFL contract, and he didn't take it. He took a $7 million less a year. Which
what a hero! Over 5 years.
When you're dealing with millionaires like this,
he does have the highest guaranteed money, second only to Deshaun Watson in a short period. Watson's was higher, but Brock has the because it's only over 3 years, so they're guaranteed. So he's got 3 years of guaranteed money. It's one of those. It's team friendly, but it's also extremely player friendly. It's a weird contract. There is a lot in here where like the Niners do have the ability to play around with the salary cap a little with it, and it's not going to completely hamstring them. It is only 19% of the salary cap. It's like, historically quarterbacks have taken up to 24 to 25%. Bad quarterbacks have taken 24 to 25%. Like, so 19% is not the end of the world. It's actually not the worst. The thing that is the interesting part about this contract for me that does make this, that I think is more than the money, more than anything, is going to be the thing that the 49ers might regret, is that no trade. I think that's the one thing that is in this contract that I think was for Purdy, where Purdy went, I want this security. You can't get rid of me. Yeah. And or if you do, I get to choose where I go.
Yeah.
Niners, man, you remember Jimmy G? Congratulations, you get to do that all again.
No, I don't think it's as bad as Jimmy G.
I think Purdy's a better quarterback than Jimmy G.
What can Brock Purdy do that Jimmy G couldn't?
He does.
Or can't.
Okay, sorry. He can throw a better ball than Jimmy G could.
Marginally. He can throw a marginally better ball than Jimmy G.
And he's healthy. He's healthy. He does stay healthy.
So it's funny. I equated this deal to giving Jimmy G big money. Then I realized they gave Jimmy G the biggest contract ever. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that and look where that got you. But that's fine.
I got him a Super Bowl run. It did get them a Super Bowl run.
And
Where's the ring?
Yeah, Super Bowl run. Where's the ring?
Okay, look, it got him a Super Bowl. I'm sorry that they went up against the greatest quarterback currently in football. Like,
no excuses. I'm sorry.
You can go against Josh Allen.
Who just went up against the greatest quarterback of our generation and won? Remind me again.
And he lost one beforehand. Remember? Like, look, here is why the 49ers to me had to make this deal. The reason
the alternative is Mac Jones. Oh. That's why.
Because who was their alternative? In all seriousness, who is their alternative?
Yeah, they wanted originally Mac Jones.
Yeah, and Mac Jones isn't good.
No.
And like, you know, the problem they would and the problem they would have is if they didn't, guess what? They go into the cycle of, I'm sorry, Chance, the Steelers, where we don't have a quarterback, but
we're just good enough.
But our team doesn't suck, and we refuse to suck, so we're not gonna go get one.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, like making your quarterback your highest player, where he's not even the best player on your team, that's a risky move. Kyle, let's see if it pays up.
And then what do?
Yeah. He's still above. I still consider him above average, and that's
the reality. You're the Niners. You do what you do best. You go and find somebody, maximize their talent in that system by
draft another Mr. Relevant. Draft another one.
To me right now,
honestly, them trading for Joe Milton might not have been the best. Might not have been the worst idea.
Do you think Brock is better? Is better than Sam Darnold?
Yes.
No.
Ooh.
Really?
Wow.
Okay. Well. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me. Okay. They see the thing. They both had like such similar situations where they're both like, are they them or are they products of like, are they merchants of everything else?
Yeah.
I saw Sam Darnold play in that Niners system, and he didn't do it well when he was given because he had 2 weeks and they didn't win. Like he wasn't particularly good.
I don't remember Sam in the Niners, but that's fine. Okay.
I mean, he barely played.
Is he better than Trevor?
Trevor Lawrence?
Right now, I'd give him the slight edge.
No comment.
Trevor's got a higher contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather pay Trevor than Brock Purdy.
Is he better than Tua?
That's just racist.
Is he better?
That's why I know they're both white. What am I saying?
Is he better than Lamar?
Better than Lamar?
No, he's not.
That's maybe too high.
He's not.
He's making more than Lamar, so he must be better.
No, because the Ravens are actually a competent organization.
I know. That's a lot of me. I think it's absurd. These games making more money than both Lamar, Jackson.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's just Dak Prescott's making more than all of them.
That is true.
It's funny. The Lamar comp's not the one that I think's absurd. The absurd one to me is Baker. That's the absurd one. The money that he is getting paid compared to Baker is the absurdity, because I think Baker is a better quarterback. I straight up think Baker is a better quarterback. I think Baker has proven it on Tampa. I think if you put Brock in Tampa, Brock does not do anywhere near what Baker has done to that team.
Mm-hmm. I think if you put Brock Purdy anywhere else, it doesn't do anything.
I think there's a couple of teams. I think there's
not a Shanahan disciple. Yeah,
yeah. I think there's a couple of teams you could put him in that he would do well. I think if you put him on the Vikings, he would do well.
Yes. The Dolphins? No.
No, I think if you put him on the Eagles, he would do well. I think, and not that's not a. I don't think he would do.
I think he's getting bent in half.
Yeah.
I don't think he does what Jalen does on the Eagles, but I do think that the Eagles don't go to where one of the worst teams in football. The way that if you take away a lot, if you took Mahomes off the Chiefs, they are one of the worst teams in football, straight up.
Oh yeah.
If you take Lamar off the Ravens, they've got a really good defense, but they are
Josh Allen off the Bills. Yeah.
Josh Allen from the Bills.
I do think that this contract is going to age into an. I get why it was done. I think the contract is going to age into an albatross at some point, but for right now, yeah, this is what you do. I mean, he's not the most overpaid player on this team, but he's like second most overpaid.
No, I think. Look, I still think the Niners are going to be a decent team this year. I don't think they're going to be an amazing team.
They're apparently going to stop the schedule.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a decent team. I think come the playoffs, I think they're probably. I kind of remember if I had them missing the playoffs. No, I think I did have them. Yeah, I do have them missing the playoffs, but I think they're just going to miss out because the NFC's actually started to get a bit tougher.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
That tells me that when CJ Stroud's going to break the bank. Jake Daniels, if he continues, going to break the bank.
Yeah.
Fucking Caleb Williams, if he becomes Caleb Williams, is going to break the bank.
It's going to keep resetting the market.
Caleb Williams, if he doesn't come to Pittsburgh, is going to break the bank.
That's what you're hoping for now.
If the draft class we just had, and that's Caleb, Jaden, Drake,
JJ, Penix,
Penix, and
Bo.
If let's say 5 of them hit, which is still, let's say 4.
Sorry, Bo Nix.
Yeah, no, let's say 4 of them hit because 5 would be
pretty positive.
Let's say 4 of them hit, which is let's go Caleb, Caleb, Jaden, Drake, and Penix. All right, let's say if the 4 of them hit, we're at $70 million by the end of that contract. We're at $70 million by one of those contracts.
Jesus.
Whoever the 4th one to get paid is, we're at $70 million. It's going to be ridiculous. But the salary cap's going up. $70 million today is not $70 million even 5 years ago. It's going to be.
Speaking of which, CJ's due for. I think CJ's going to be the next big quarterback contract. What do you think? At 65.
He's at the end of this season. He'll get his. So if they have a run, he'll get paid. If they win, if they win 2 playoff games, he's already won 2. But if he can make a final, if he can make the conference finals this year and lose to Allen, Mahomes, or Lamar. Loses to one of those 3, but makes it. He deserves it. Yeah. Genuinely could ask for 62, 63. That's where we're because Dak's 60. It could be 61. They might start going up in increments. What I'm going to find interesting is, do they start going, we don't want to go higher, we will go more guaranteed. That's because they've always been we're not going to do the fully guaranteed. Could they be, we're capping it at 60, but we'll guarantee the contracts instead?
So before we move on to the next story, there's one player currently who has not been extended who is shocking to me.
Okay.
And that's Sauce Gardner. I am alarmed we have not heard any news of a Sauce extension.
There's a gut feel that's
he's going to leave.
I think that's.
I have a feeling the Jets would have offered it at this point. He's probably just I don't know if I want to be here.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of. I want to see what Aaron does for this year, Aaron, the coach. I want to see how I go up under Glenn for this Aaron Glenn this season, and then I will make my decision. Yeah. And look, I don't know any of that. I could be completely wrong because money is money, and it's hard to say no to X amount of money. But you're not wrong that it's kind of wild that we haven't heard anything. But I think that's got more to do with Sauce than it does the Jets. Yeah.
All right. What do we got next?
All right. Next up, let's talk about the NFL schedule release.
It's kind of wild. So the schedule release used to be a thing. It's it's out, but now. It's kind of become an event where
they've made it.
It's pretty much an event for every team social media department to be as creative, be fun, do what they want to do, and try and make something really, really memorable. Sometimes they work and they do really, really great stuff. Other times, not so much. But we're going to talk about the schedule release video today and talk about mainly talk about what we want to get some love to the social media departments and the people who do put a lot of work and effort into these videos and drops. We're going to talk about who we think did the best. I'm going to start to you. What do you think were some of the better scheduled drops?
Just off the top, the Eagles just trolling everybody by showing the glamour shot of the Super Bowl trophy, and then just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the schedule at the end of the video. That was really good.
That had everything just shy of a screw you, Jacob.
Exactly. I was waiting for Jacob London's name to pop up at the top.
It did. It did.
That was funny.
That was good. Very minimal, but I did appreciate it.
The production value is not as high, but the intent is funny.
Yeah.
So,
look, I'm gonna be a bit of a homer, but like, I thought it was clever the way the Bills.
Oh, the Bills
did
one?
It.
Yeah, that one was good.
I thought. Look, it's a little cringy, but it's clever. It's kind of it's tongue in cheek. So yeah, I liked the Bills one. I thought that was clever.
Let me check. Let me check. Like, is Iverson a Bills fan? He's not. I'm just like, that is funny.
You would think he was, with all the time he spent in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
an Eagles fan.
Don't know actually, but
I don't think he is. But
yeah, but he did him a solid.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, funny bit.
It was
one I really enjoyed was maybe my favorite of the bunch because I do think it was pretty creative. I really like the Seahawks schedule drop, where it was like it was just framed like an action and a toy.
Oh, the action like the '90s toy commercial
from the '90s. Yeah. That one was fun.
There were several teams that did like the nostalgia play.
Yeah,
the Niners did an Oregon Trail one.
Oregon Trail, that one was really good. I really enjoyed the Falcons Mario Kart one.
He's a
Commanders did a roller coaster tycoon one. That was like, wow, okay, really going deep.
Do we give special mention to the one that got deleted?
Well, the Colts. It's funny.
The two Minecraft one. We should talk about the two Minecraft.
Well, that's the thing. Like the Colts thing. Like the thing that shouldn't be embarrassed by isn't the fact of the Tyreek Hill. Just the fact that the Chargers, who are like the champions of this kind of thing.
They're the ones. Like the Chargers are really the ones that made this a thing because they did. Obviously, they did the anime one for they did the anime one. And
they did two anime ones, and then the Sims.
Yeah, that blew up, and so they did it again.
One.
And then, they did that, and everyone was like, "Oh, we want to try and outdo them." And then so they've started, and then they did the Sims last year, and then this year they did obviously Minecraft.
And their Minecraft one was so much better.
The Josh Allen walking out of the theater in a sauce car. That was the funniest joke.
The Chargers, but that's. The thing that I really like about a lot of these ones is the Chargers one especially, and I think it's why the Colts one maybe didn't work quite as well as they're able to be very tongue in cheek without crossing the line. And I think the Colts one, realistically, I don't think the Colts one crossed the line.
Apparently Tyreek Hill thought it was funny, so
I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know why they took it down. I really don't. Outside of maybe, oh shit, someone else did a better Minecraft. Yeah, and we got embarrassed by that. I didn't.
I feel like it had more to do with that because
because
we'll try again next year.
That bad, yeah. But no, Chargers one that was really clever.
Honestly, the one I really liked a lot that people aren't talking about enough, the Titans one I thought was really funny.
Schedule Rizzy.
Schedule Rizzy. And then going over the side effects and roasting teams. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's actually pretty funny.
They had a great one last year.
Oh, no, the Titans low key, the Chargers.
They started with the naming the logos incorrectly.
Titans are second in this race. Chargers are first and Titans are second in this race lately. Titans have been really clever with what they've done. Yeah.
I still think the Titans had the GOAT scheduled release video, the one where they asked people the logos. They're all wrong.
Exactly.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, yeah.
That's basically when people start paying attention to these.
That one's brilliant. That one's
that one I watch. It still cracks me up.
Yeah.
As a fan of these ads, I really like what the Raiders did. That this is the ESPN.
Mm.
Yeah. Those are funny.
Sure.
Yeah.
And of course, the Rams getting Brenda Song.
Yes, Rams. Brilliant pull of Brenda Song.
That was clever.
Very good.
Funny. I really like that.
Jared Verse just diving at the screen. Oh my god.
That was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to talk about some of the bigger games that we are going
to. We had the whole slate of international games. The NFL this year going to countries that they have not been to yet.
Yep.
Mainly, we got NFL Dublin, Ireland. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be very fun.
Yeah.
Actually, Vikings play back-to-back international games. They go
Yeah,
from
different
London.
countries.
They go from Ireland to England.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think. Well, let's talk about how we open the season. Eagles, Cowboys.
Divisional rivalry right off the bat.
Of course.
Yeah.
So the Cooper DeJean versus George Pickens saga starting early.
Yeah. I do find that. Look, Cowboys are still the number one draw in football.
Yeah.
As much as we all hate to admit it, they are the number one team in football. They're still.
I think they're two now, but yeah, they're up there.
Yeah, but like as in, they are one of the biggest.
People will
draws
still watch their games.
Yeah, okay, the NFL still treats them as though they are the biggest draw in football, 100%.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like them opening the season with them. It's Cowboys are in for a rough year. Cowboys are in for a rough year with some of these games. Our first Sunday night game for the season is obviously
a rematch.
Yeah, Bills Ravens.
Yeah, that's good
For me, don't love that.
And no Tucker this time.
It's not. It's more the.
And he got the incoming second best kicker in the NFL.
But yeah,
I don't like where you went, but good luck, Tyler.
But yeah, so there's some interesting games.
Also, NFL going to Madrid.
Madrid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dolphins versus who are they playing?
I think it was it Broncos?
I think it was Broncos.
Okay. Yeah. They tried to spread out the wealth for the international games.
Bronco. Hey,
So.
no, it's Dolphins, Washington.
Washington. That's it.
My bad.
Yeah, and then
In the usual London.
Berlin's Falcons, Colts. So again, America still hates the Germans, which
for good reason.
Hey, who knows? But this could be better than last year. The usual London with the Jaguars, obviously.
That's I think I actually think is the interesting part. That obviously the Jags do get a London game, but they didn't get both, and I find it interesting. They only got the one. So yeah, that I think is a little interesting.
I think they're trying to move away from being London's team.
Yeah, I think also. I mean, I think now that it is becoming pretty clear that the NFL is going hard on international games.
Yeah. You got to spread the wealth.
Yeah, but I also think that I think now also that it's kind of becoming clear that the NFL doesn't have any interest in actually starting a European division the way that 5 years ago it looked like was probably coming. I think now it's just not going to be worth it. I think it's going to be
So, question, when do we get our first NFL game in Asia?
In 2 years. I think we're getting 2 years. Well, look, I mean, technically, Australia is part of that. We are in the Oceania.
I mean, geographically, you're not part of Asia, but yes, I do.
Okay. But like that.
Right.
No,
do they tell you you're Asian in Australia? Remember, kids. If anybody tells you you are Asian,
you are Asian. No one can take that away from you.
No, but like,
what do they call an Asian Australia? Are they double Asian?
Oh boy!
You started this.
No, but I do think we get a Japanese one.
Yeah,
soon. A Japanese one's coming.
I would want an NFL Japan game, but like they don't play football. They just like bring them all into a Japanese game show.
We got to do a Korea one so we can have the Falcons.
Oh, Squid Game.
To get Young Hoi Koo and put the Falcons in it, so you can get Young Hoi Koo.
If that happens and Young Hoi Koo does not want to score a game-winning field goal, we just had a waste.
I think the Australian one is going to be a massive test case for whether or not Asia is possible, because time zone wise, look. I'm an Australian. I am so happy that it is going to Australia. I think it's the single dumbest thing that the NFL is going to do. I do not.
Okay, well, here's the thing. What's the time
It happened
difference
after you
between
left.
what's the time difference between Australia and here?
Like 17 hours.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so 17 hours. So right now it's
So now it is 1 p.m.
So it's 1 p.m. tomorrow there, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, so like that's actually not that difficult of
Right, because
of
typically there'd be a
fix.
football game now.
So
So yeah, if you played the game now, when like
at
we
1
can watch it
p.m.
here.
Yeah,
Like it's not
so-
that difficult.
It's not
Okay,
right.
the difficult part comes from when do you play it? Because
Oh, what day? I see.
there's the difficult part.
Yeah.
Because you can't air it on a Saturday. Can't do it here. Can't air it.
Well, no. You can't air it on Saturday.
In Australia.
Why not?
No, in
Here.
in the US.
Well, no. So play it on
It's called
Australian. Play it on Australian Saturday and air it here Friday.
Can't play on Fridays either. There's 2 days you can't because of high school football. Because
High school. Oh boy.
Fuck high school football.
It's high school.
It's a law.
It's a law.
It's why Thursday night's a thing. There's no NFL on Friday and there's no NFL on Saturday.
Except Black Friday.
But there is NFL on Fridays.
Black Friday.
There's one Friday. Yeah.
Black Friday is one that
One
they got
exception.
around because of a loophole, because there's no football on Fridays.
And
And-
Brazil.
And Brazil, it's why Brazil is the first weekend of the season. It's the only reason it can happen.
Well, Well, say they're not doing Brazil the same
If they
year.
do it if they don't do, if it's on the Friday, if that's how they do it,
then you
could
can.
work. It could maybe work, and it would be tough, but it could maybe work.
Or do it like later in the year. That way, you can have Friday.
Yeah, so that's the other thing.
Yeah,
Or
true.
you do it in
Do it
December.
very late in the year.
Yeah, you would do it in December. The only other time you could do it is either November, is late November, but you're going to then have teams being like, we don't want to.
We don't want to travel this late in the year.
It's your other problem.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the.
Because then you have to give us a bye week.
Going there. There is, unless they are just going to say, and this could happen. Fuck it, America. Get up at 1 a.m. in the morning. And that could like in all that could be a thing that they
Yeah,
do.
you know,
If they really want Australia, yeah. Wake up
sure,
at
why
1
not?
a.m.
Why not? Let's do it.
Because I do think that there is going
People
to
would stay.
be that the
People would
NFL wants from 1 a.m. basically where they're going to have games from 1 a.m. all the way or from 3 a.m. LA time all the way through till midnight.
Yeah.
And I think
the entire day.
I think that's what they're aiming for, where we just have the entire
Non-stop.
day on a Sunday, and I think that's what they're trying to get at. And if that's what they do, then Australia is going to work. I'm just assuming that they're not going to.
They're not airing a game at 3 a.m.
Yeah, but
It's for
who knows?
logistical reasons.
They might.
They'll find a way. But they're going down under, and then they're going to Asia. That one's gonna
The
be
real
sick.
Asia. I'm just kidding.
The real Asia. Sorry, Jacob, but the real Asia.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled. Okay.
I do this every year. This is my stupid early predictions.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And
you put money on this, right?
Yes. So I have officially put $10 on this happening. If it pays off, I
You're
get
a millionaire.
$2.5 million.
Which means Jacob.
And we will never see
funding,
Jacob again.
And maybe Jacob is funding the show for the
Exactly.
next 10 years.
You can get Brenda Song to appear.
Can we pay Brenda Song to appear on one episode? Honestly, a lot of this I don't think is like that insane.
Well, the one thing that stood out for both.
Well,
of us
the one
yeah,
thing is the Giants going 10-7. There is no fucking way that team wins 10 games. Unless, wait, Jacob, are you like secretly dyslexic and you just like put numbers by accident? Because that would explain.
7 and 10 I can
11 last
understand.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I believe the Giants. It's not that I fully believe in the Giants. I believe in Brian Daboll. I think Wilson is the best quarterback they have had in about half a decade. Even this version. It's the best quarterback Daboll has had as a head coach ever.
God, this is sad.
Yeah.
This is really sad.
I think that front seven is incredible.
Very good.
I think that D line is potentially really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming
Carter
Carter
pans out.
lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that. I think also it's the best weapon Wilson has had
Since like
in
prime Metcalf.
Seattle.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think that is very likely that it's the best weapon he's had. The O-line is a problem still, but I think they've started to address it. They have a last place schedule. I think there's a lot here for the Giants that I could see them pulling this off.
They have made the playoffs too. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I think they make the playoffs. There's a lot.
Everyone's job is safe, and Joe Shane continues.
Yeah, I do.
Joe Shane continues to direct this team.
You shouldn't want the Giants to win 10 games if you're a Giants fan.
And I think that, I think it is very possible that this happens. I do also think we're going to see, my other big thing for this is I think we are going to see a little bit more of a regression to the mean than we did last year. I think there's going to be some very good teams, and then I think there's going to be a lot of teams that kind of that last year we saw, I don't think we're going to have what we had last year where, there's going to be a substantial amount of a 11-win teams that miss the playoffs. I don't think we're going to have that. I think there's going to be quite a lot of 9-8, 8-9 teams. So, yeah.
Wow. Jags going 10-7. Interesting. With that Duval, huh? Okay.
Jags
that was the thing with the schedule release.
They
got roasted. Like half the release videos. He got roasted.
The other thing that you notice, I do have the Steelers going 8-9.
Yeah. Well, that's how I know you fucking
likely. Chance, would you take the streak being broken if they got the number 1 pick?
For Archie. Or Arch, sorry, not Archie, for Arch.
He's thinking
for Arch.
Well, assuming he does, because I actually don't think he will.
The thing is, I didn't think Cooper Flag was going to go into the NBA draft, but here we are.
That's fair enough.
And he was only in college for a year, so it is possible. Well, actually, you know what? No, here's the thing. You know why we traded George Pickens for draft picks?
Oh God!
Because we have a lot of draft picks for the next drafts.
Okay.
I think we have like 13 or 14
them all to
picks.
move up to number 1.
Yes,
or something close to it.
And look, here's the thing. It's all part of the. It's all. I see. I'm sorry. I see what the plan is.
See the code.
The draft is in Pittsburgh. We have like 75 draft picks. We're going to package them all. Our package was a good chunk of them to move up in the draft to draft our next franchise savior. Yeah, that's the plan.
When was the last time the Steelers have ever done that?
You know what? We got a new regime.
First time for everything.
We got a new regime. We got a new GM who believes in taking risks, believes in doing things different. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen.
All right. Let's go start having some fun.
All right, yeah. Well, look, being a fan can be very easy, can be very difficult. You can be a Lions fan. It shifts. Where it shifts. But we ponder the question, what fans have it the hardest? That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And what fans have it the best? Who has the right to be angry, bitter, probably a little drunk, and who does not?
Who does not?
That's what we're here to discuss today. Take a pull of the tier ranker.
There we go.
All right, so this is our tier ranker with every NFL team. We're going to talk about strictly the fan base as to who is down the most bad. Our tiers are cannot complain about anything, historically good but now suck. I know we have made that
stuck.
Now stuck. I'm sorry.
But they could also now suck.
They also now suck. That could be the same thing. It could be better but can't complain. eyeing the liquor cabinets, and I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I'm swapping these ones around. Could be better, but can't complain. Then historically,
They were grandfathered in. Is the last tier.
Yeah, or they just the last one basically are why am I a fan tier?
Exactly.
His historic pain. So let's get into it. First up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to say eyeing the liquor cabinet, or I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I think they're more eyeing the liquor cabinet.
They at least have a little bit of hope. They have a little bit of hope.
Just a little bit.
I think, yeah. The end of this season, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't pan out by the end of this season,
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice tired of this. But I think right now,
Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter.
Like if Travis, if Travis Hunter doesn't pan out, then this is
nervous.
I'm so tired of this.
Now, Houston Texans. I think that we did this a few years ago. This is definitely, and I'm tired of this, Grandpa. But right now, I'm also thinking this. I think this could be like it could be better, but can't complain.
Yeah, I'd say there. They won playoff games 2 years in a row.
Because right now you think, look, for all of his current faults, Deshaun Watson, when he was a Texan, was very good. He was very, very good.
He was.
So he
rubbed out some good games.
Jesus. Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm gonna say it could be better, but you can't right now. I don't think there is really anything.
Yeah, and then you have the supposed quarterback. Of the
now, this to me is probably on the lower end of this tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Like, they don't have it great, but like it could be worse.
It's good.
It could be worse.
It's good.
All right.
Packers. I think they're historically good, but now stuck.
Yeah.
Because like
kind of in no man's land.
They're in that kind of no man's land where they're just like tell you the worst thing that happens to the Packers every year is Toyota Thunk. That's when Jordan Love for some reason turned on.
Yeah.
But and honestly, because my prediction for this year, I think that this for the first time since 2003, I think the Packers will get swept by the Bears. So
I don't know if they're going to get swept. I think they're going to lose. I think it's split.
I genuinely do think they get swept. Why? Because they were a blocked field goal away from getting swept last year. And the Bears have made better moves than the Packers in the offseason. Granted, this is the Bears.
It's the Bears.
I do think that for the first time in over 20 years, the Packers receive the Bears. But currently, and when that happens, they'll be eyeing the cabinet for right now. They're historically great, but currently stuck.
Yeah.
Look, I think that's the right.
Yeah, they're not close to contending, but they don't outright suck.
Yeah. Cowboys are a tough one.
That could also go in historically good, but now stuck.
So that could also go into I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Also, they could fit in a lot.
To me, they can't because we're talking about historically. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking
talking historically, historically great, but now stuck.
Yeah, to me, you can't ever be I'm tired of this, Grandpa, if at some point in your franchise you had
won Super Bowls. Right.
Like I just
you see, I'll fight you on that in a second.
Okay.
It depends on how long ago the Super Bowl was.
Yeah. So I say they're historically good, but now stuck. They're on the lower end. I'll give you that, but I think
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Now, the reason I'm going to fight you on that because the Bears are a historic. I am tired of this, Grandpa. These are fans who are born into nothing but sorrow and misery.
Yeah, and look, I agree with you, but I think also
they are way past eyeing Luke Garrett at this point. Last year proved they are way past that.
Higher end, then they're on the
higher end of liquor.
Higher end of I'm
tired of this, Grandpa. Okay,
I'll give
this
you
is
that.
Not an indictment on their quality.
To me, if you have a ring, you have a ring. You have one.
A ring before any of us were born.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like it being
a ring that was a ring from the Reagan administration.
Okay. I'm the other thing that I am taking into slight account, and it's why I can't truly feel horrific for Bears fans. I'm sorry, but your town got fucking Michael Jordan. Like, so that's the punishment.
Basketball.
We got Michael Jordan.
No, your punishment for owning a decade of basketball was that
so you have to suffer.
The Cubs and the Bears all suck. Like, but yeah.
Okay.
Bills
are a tough one.
Bills, cannot complain about anything until they face the Chiefs in the playoffs, and then it's
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure, because if we are going historically, they are they are a high.
Yeah, they're definitely high.
They fit in two different tiers on both sides.
Okay, this is a team that has lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. All right, this is eyeing the liquor cabinet really badly.
If it wasn't for Josh Allen, they'd definitely be in I'm tired.
Yeah,
100%.
There's still hope because
I'm eyeing the liquor cabinet. I think we're higher than the Jags now, but this is my number one. You have nothing.
It's just absolutely can't complain.
Nothing to complain.
Even when you get blown out in one Super Bowl, nothing.
I don't care.
Exactly.
You could suck for the next 10 years. You have nothing to complain about. I don't care.
Yeah, 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Yeah, 3 in 5 years.
Almost 3 Peter. Yeah.
Almost
3 and 6.
You got nothing.
3 and 5 because not including when they last one.
Every year they make the conference finals at least.
Yeah, they've literally not missed the conference finals since 2018.
Exactly.
Broncos. Ooh.
Because I think they're historically stuck.
I think historically good.
Yeah.
But I'm also like the Broncos are kind of one of those. There's an element of me for the Broncos where it's you can't complain, but because it's been such a long time, I'll go historically good and now stuck because I think they are stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I think they're lower than the Cowboys.
Okay.
Wait,
as in higher.
No. I mean, wait, hold on.
They weren't as historically good as the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't think they're as historically good as the Cowboys. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Panthers.
Liquor
I'm tired
cabinet.
of this, Grandpa.
Liquor
cabinet. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I know. I think it's liquor cabinet because you had an MVP player,
Cam Newton. Yeah.
Sorry, you've had an MVP. You had a Super Bowl run. You had a nice chunk in your lifetime recently. You've had.
I haven't been back since. Yeah.
So I think for Panthers, it's a low eyeing the liquor cabinet. You're a couple of years away. Don't get me wrong, but
I think they're higher than the Jags though.
Yeah.
So here or
right there.
More recent success than the Jags.
All right. Tampa could be better, but can't complain.
Yeah,
that's my thought exactly.
You've won a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's recent-ish.
Yeah, I'm going to put them, and I think they're above the Texans. Like you've won a Super Bowl recently. You didn't flame out the way that
you were supposed to.
We should have after Tom left.
Yeah.
Vikings. See, Vikings, I think, are definitely at least eyeing liquor cabinet because they are the only other team to go 0-4 in Super Bowls.
To me, they're next to the Bills, if not a little bit lower than the Bills, because you're right. Right now, we've got Josh Allen. I'm happy that I have Josh Allen. I have at least a little bit of hope.
And the Vikings at least have one of the best receivers.
I think they're a little. I think they're just like one tier below the Bills.
Yeah,
one spot below the Bills.
Yeah. All right.
We're holding out hope.
These are our other. Sorry, I don't care.
Oh, it's
literally.
Can't complain.
No,
I actually think they have less.
You could argue historically good, but now stuck. But it was
this is you again. You're right.
The greatest player all day.
This could be number one, but I'm going to put him just slightly behind because of the recency.
Yeah.
But I don't care. You are halfway through your card.
6 Super Bowls.
Yeah. You're halfway through. In 5 more years, you're allowed to start complaining. Right now, you got nothing.
This is what we love telling JT that you can't complain.
Saints.
Ooh.
I'm honestly thinking this is.
Liquor?
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
I
Super Bowl's
know the ring, but here's the
15
thing.
years at this point, but it
you
was like
had-
15 years at this
You
point.
had an all-time QB, and you got one Super Bowl out of him.
He never made it back, right? Breeze never made
Never
it
made
back.
it back.
Yeah, that's true.
That granted, a good chunk of that is because of the refs. But never made it back.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But like, if you want to go
One of
liquor
those lower
cabinet,
ones.
that's
I'll
It's on
go
one of the lower tiers.
I'll go lower tier liquor
Yeah.
cabinet for the moment. But yeah. I
think this is historically good, but not stuck
think it's higher end though.
because they've at least
It's definitely
made
higher.
two
They've
Super
made
Bowls in the last
multiple
like,
Super Bowls, yeah.
Yeah.
So
multiple Super Bowls in the last like 15 years, but they lost all of them.
yeah.
They at least got there 3 times.
Yeah. Washington, I think they're probably just
Could be better.
behind the Bills. Oh, actually, no, probably just.
A liquor. Ooh.
I think they're liquor. They've not.
Yeah, it's 1 year. It's 1 year.
Had for the last 20 years. You know,
They've
the
strung together a
first
couple more.
element of hope they have had was when they
Was last year, yeah.
it's the first.
Yeah,
year.
honestly, if last year didn't happen, they would definitely be an I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Oh,
Yes.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm saying liquor cabinet, but I think they're around
Ooh,
here.
the Vikings.
I think I actually think they're above the Vikings.
With the Vikings.
Yeah, there.
They do have the
Chargers.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I am tired of this,
That's
Grandpa.
absolutely, Taylor can attest to that.
They deserve that. They had an historically great quarterback in Rivers. Not
Nothing.
And Dan Fast.
Nothing.
Sorry.
And Dan Fast. They had 2 Hall of Famers that they did nothing with.
Yep, and now they're probably
And
got a
now-
first one.
Yeah,
Well-
now they're wasting prime Herbert.
So yeah. Colts. I think you're historically good. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
but
lower
that's
end, but yeah.
lower end.
8 years.
Like,
I think above the Broncos at least, maybe above the Cowboys. Because those Manning years were
Those
fucking
Peyton years were really
yeah,
good.
look, Manning only got you one ring.
They also had like the definitive quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah. Now look.
And yeah, Andrew Luck retired early, which didn't help. So
Yeah, that's maybe an argument for it, but Browns. I'm
Tired
tired.
of his grandpa.
absolutely.
I'm tired of his grandpa.
Yeah.
Nick Harley is wavering.
Factory of sadness. There's a factory of sadness for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, this next one, 100%. They are
Oh,
also.
100%.
You are.
Yep.
I'm
This
tired
week-
of his grandpa.
I know.
doing a
I
run.
know this is against my. You have a ring. This one, I'll argue. It's been 50.
So long.
This
But-
one, I'll argue.
So because of the ring, I think they need to go above the Chargers.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. I can see that.
But yeah, it's the Jets. They are again one of the teams that are the epitome of I'm tired of this grandpa.
Why am I still watching?
That should have been the name. Why am I still watching?
Why am I still watching? Yeah. It's the same effect.
Yeah.
Same
All
thing.
right. The Lions, are they higher than the Browns?
I actually don't think that. I think they're like a little higher than this.
They
Like,
should. They could do.
No, this is the
all right,
Lions.
we're talking historically. Then yes,
historically. Then,
historically
yeah,
they got to be the highest.
recently,
team.
there probably could be better.
Like this, but that's my point. Are they like? I think it's one of these two. I really do. I just don't know.
Well,
It's definitely above the
higher,
Browns.
They're higher than the Chargers. Like,
Yeah, that's my
Mm.
point. So they're one of these two. So which one? Like, this is you are literally the worst.
Well, it's not.
okay,
Yeah, they
then,
can't be.
well,
the,
yeah, well, no, like the Lions
they're
are
above the
reaching for hope.
Browns.
The Lions are reaching for hope now. So.
Yeah,
They're above
so-
the Browns. They're
Yeah,
above the
the
Browns.
Browns don't have hope. The Browns
No, the Lions have hope.
don't have hope.
Exactly.
I'd argue they have more hope than the Chargers, but I get it.
The-
Yeah,
Historically, I get
The
it.
Matt Patricia years were
was
dark.
yeah.
Dark times.
All right, Eagles. You
They're
have
either okay. I guess they can't complain.
no. You are the current Super Bowl winner. You have been to a Super Bowl.
But
You-
we're talking historically. Historically,
Mm,
Yeah,
they've been good
They're on
for.
the- to me, they're on the lower end. They're on the lower
okay,
end.
but like I do agree they're either in the top tier or they're in could be better but can't complain.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think
They've been
because
good at multiple points throughout.
If we're
history.
going like absolute recency, then yes, like that does.
Yeah.
That does put the
Yeah.
can't complain.
I think the last 2 years has the last couple of years because again I would before 2016, I would agree with you, and not
Right.
16, 18, I would have put them in eyeing the liquor cabinet because it would have been
Now
one
they
of
have
those,
2 Super Bowls.
how
since
can
then.
we not
Yeah.
how could we have not gotten over this hump? Like,
Right.
what is wrong with us? We had an all-time head coach that we couldn't do anything. We had a fantastic quarterback. Like, we've had this
Carson
historical. Why can't we do this? But the last 6 years, when they won a Super Bowl and they've won another one recently, you've started a mini dynasty. I think you are in the you can't.
Yeah. That's
You,
fair.
you just can't right now. If I hear an Eagles fan complain about, oh man, we're just so unlucky, I'll be like, you can complain about all of your other
When
sports.
did you turn to Jacob? When did you turn to Jacob London? You'll ask them.
You guys can literally complain about all 3 of your other sports. You cannot complain about this one.
All right. Seahawks are a tough one.
I think it's so middle of the pack. Like,
Yeah.
it's either it could be
Are-
better.
Are they? Yeah. Are they historically good though? I don't think they're historically good.
I don't know my
it's why
Seahawks history
think
well
it's
enough.
kind of you could be better, but you can't really complain.
Honestly, are
The Super Bowl wasn't that.
are they eyeing the liquor cabinet?
It's getting there.
Because I don't
Not
think
quite.
they've ever.
I don't think not quite.
Their lowest point ever is we lost a Super Bowl.
So do you want to could be better
Because
and
we
can't complain?
threw at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's this.
Yeah.
But I think about the fact that they at least got a ring out of it.
They got a ring,
Yeah,
and they
that's true.
basically came 1 play away from another one.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So
Ravens, I think are here.
yeah, could be better.
Yeah.
But can't complain.
I'm not willing to put them in. Can't complain about anything because it's
No,
been
'cause they-
so
Oh no,
tough.
they definitely can't complain about some stuff.
They haven't gotten to the
Looking
top
at you, Harbaugh. But
Yeah.
since 2013.
Um.
I'm
Raiders-
tired of this, Grandpa. I'm
Raiders-
tired of this.
Oh, the
Grandpa.
Raiders.
Yeah. You reckon here or Yeah, I think here. It's been
yeah,
longer.
Right there.
It's been longer.
Yeah, right
It's
there.
been long.
Rams could be better, but can't complain. Like,
It was, yeah.
I think they're high on this
Well,
one.
I think they'd be the highest one here because they have
Maybe the highest one because they have the ring most recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Those teams.
that's. I mean,
Yeah.
do they- oh yeah, this is more recent than Tampa.
they've already seen Tampa. Yeah,
See, I might put Ravens there actually.
Mm.
Do you think, or because of because of the ring,
recency of the ring.
or because at least Lamar, they've got Lamar.
They have.
yeah. I think Raiders have more cause for optimism because they have a 2-time MVP. So yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Bengals. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Flicker.
I am tired of this, Grandpa.
No, I agree. I actually agree with this because
Mm.
one, they still don't have a ring, and two, they've now got
They're wasting
what should be a great quarterback.
and a great wide receiver, and they're wasting
Yeah,
the
But
prize.
below New York because no ring.
fair enough.
Also because Joe Burrow could go screw himself.
Yeah, no, it's good. Joe Burrow's a little bit. But, Titans are either liquor cabinet or I'm tired of this, Grandpa. There's
Yeah, I'm gonna go eyeing Licky Cabinet.
Liquor.
yeah, but like a
Yeah.
lower end one.
Yeah,
Yeah, right there is about good.
yeah. Falcons. I think you're.
Absolutely liquor, at least.
At least liquor. At the very
Yeah.
least, liquor.
I think you're. I'm tired of this, or you're liquor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might go liquor actually.
Liquor.
It's just baffling move after baffling move.
Yeah. New York's historically great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 'Cause
Historically great, but above.
we always
above
have those
Denver.
two.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, but they have more rings than Denver.
Above
so
Denver. They
them.
have, yeah. They can always hang their head on that.
Cardinals. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah. I think they're there because they've at
Below
least
the Bengals. Yeah. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Let's spend 30 minutes on
Kings
this.
Kings of historically great, but now stuck.
They've been stuck for
my
that's
yeah.
the crown jewel of
that.
historically
No, I
good.
will.
Stuck.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And then I think
Stuck.
Dolphins are kind of also in here somewhere.
Historically good. Yeah.
Are they historically good though? I
for
think
a
Dolphins-
time,
I mean, they're the
That's
seven.
true.
Look,
they're
they're
the undefeated.
yeah, they're the undefeated team.
And you had that burrito.
Yeah, and I think there's a good placement.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's our ranker of how down.
Not a lot of cause for
Falcons are.
optimism if you're a fan of most of these teams.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Honestly, like if if the Chiefs bounce the Bills again in the playoffs,
God.
I think I'm gonna go down. I'm tired of this grandpa.
Even if you're not a Bills fan, you're gonna start drinking because of you just feel bad by proxy.
Yeah.
You just need to play it. We've literally had it once where we've in the playoffs where we've not played the Chiefs.
And he lost again.
Someone else just beat them, and then
we need someone else to beat them, and because
we can avoid this whole argument.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for us here today. Con, where we'll find you.
Just on Twitter at the King Con, on Letterboxd, and yeah, just keep watching the show.
Jacob,
when we air.
Find me pretty much everywhere at Jacob London or Weird Accent, and I'm back watching movies, and probably going to try and go see Lilo and Stitch at some point this weekend because I've already seen Mission. So,
well, you find me watching Mission again and again and again. Probably, well, maybe not so many times. I don't want to support Dan's draft pick. That's Snake Daniels' draft pick.
People are watching not going to know what that means, but yeah. Just take his word for it.
Those who know now. But yeah, you can go on Twitter, Instagram, Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Hey, we're still on.
We're still on.